Clayton put on gloves and used it to gently guide the body to the shallow end of the pool. He was about to turn it face up when Captain Rodney appeared in the courtyard. "Let the MI do that," he barked. Clayton backed off and waited for Rodney to approach. The captain was new to the Dona County Sheriff's Office, hired to modernize and improve the investigations division. With less than a month on the job, he was still observing and fact-finding, but back-channel scuttlebutt predicted changes were coming, and soon. At 6'4" and beefy, Rodney towered over Clayton's athletic 5'10" frame. A retired commander of a detective bureau in an upstate New York police department, he'd moved to Las Cruces at the urging of his wife, a New Mexico native eager to escape the frigid Northeast and return to the embrace of warmer weather and her extended family. "What's with the head wound?" Rodney asked, peering at the body. "Scalped, it would appear," Clayton replied. The captain was a smoker, and the stench of tobacco clung to him. Apparently a female victim was killed the same way. Rodney snorted. "Well, that's a new one. Only in the Wild West. I hear you're an Apache, so I'd guess you'd know." "I've never tried it myself," Clayton commented, straight-faced. "But I read somewhere that scalping may have been introduced in the New World by the Europeans." "Spare me the politically correct history lesson," Rodney grumbled. "Turn him over." "I thought we were waiting for the medical investigator." "Do it." Clayton hooked the pool skimmer under the dead man's armpit and turned the body face up. Whoever had cut his throat was a pro. A single swipe with the blade had severed both carotid arteries. "Neatly done," Rodney commented. "You said apparently the woman had been killed the same way." Staring into the face of a man Clayton recognized, it partially stunned him. "What?" "Have you viewed the female victim in the room?" Rodney demanded. Clayton shook his head. "Not yet. That's James Goggin." "You know him?" Clayton nodded as he walked toward the hotel room door. "Unless he has an identical twin." He stopped in the doorway and stared at the naked body of Lucy Notzil, sprawled on the bed, head lolled over the edge, her throat cleanly cut. A tuft of her long dark hair had been torn from her scalp. A drying pool of blood soaked the new beige carpet. He'd known her all her life, and now she was finished. But where were her two young daughters? Still with their grandmother on the Mescalero homeland, he hoped, and not waiting somewhere for their mother's return. For a minute he couldn't remember their names, but they were young, not yet teens. Their natural father had been a Mescalero tribal member, now long dead from alcoholism. Angie and Jenny were the girls' names, 8 and 10 years old, if he remembered correctly. Clayton made a fast visual sweep of the room. 2 travel bags sat unopened at the foot of the bed. 2 neatly folded sets of clothes were draped over the arms of an easy chair, angled in a corner of the room. Men's boots and a pair of women's sandals were tucked under the built-in desk. A whiff of tobacco scent told him Captain Rodney had closed in. "Do you know this victim also?" he demanded. "Lucy Notzil," Clayton answered. 2 years ago, she left her 2 girls with her mother and ran away with James Goggin after they'd embezzled $200,000 from a casino on the res where they worked. The crime was never reported, and nobody had seen them since, until today. "Not reported?" Rodney asked incredulously. Clayton nodded. He wasn't inclined to explain to Rodney tribal attitudes about dealing with the outside world of the White Eyes. "That's what I understand, but I can't vouch for it." "We'll need more information about the casino embezzlement from the tribal authorities," Rodney said. "And maybe NCIC has a perp on file who likes to scalp his victims." "That would be nice," Clayton replied, doubtfully. Rodney scratched his chin pensively. "Do you kill first and then scalp, or is it the other way around?" "You scalp first, I believe, which could make it an act of vengeance. Or an assassination sent to give a clear message," Rodney suggested. "Yeah, but why and to whom?" Clayton said. "There's no evidence of a struggle and no visible defensive wounds on the bodies." "The victims knew their killer," Rodney speculated. "The male doesn't look Indian." "He wasn't," Clayton replied. "How come you know so much about these 2? Mescalero is a small, tight-knit community." Rodney grunted. "I'll want a hell of a lot more information about them from you later on. I'm rolling the CSI unit, the mobile command post."